English Fluency ABCs, letter C. Are you ready? Well then, let's jump right in. Now remember, we're following a 7-day pattern, and day 1 of our 7-day pattern means that we are going to be looking at vocabulary words that start with the letter C. Our very first vocabulary word is comprehensive. Again, comprehensive. Excellent. Last time after me. Comprehensive. Great job. Now this term comprehensive just means complete and including everything that is necessary, thorough and extensive in scope, like this series, the English Fluency ABCs. Again, comprehensive means complete and including everything that is necessary. I want you to check out this first example sentence using the term comprehensive. The report provides a comprehensive analysis of market trends over the past decade. Next, students must take a comprehensive exam covering all course material before graduating. And finally, the doctor performed a comprehensive medical evaluation to determine the cause of the symptoms. You got it, right? Excellent. So in English, we say comprehensive. This is our first vocabulary word for the letter C. And I want to let you know also, if you want to continue studying even after this lesson, don't forget to use the English with Tiffani app. You can download the app for free, but this will also provide a more comprehensive learning experience because everything you're learning in this lesson, you can practice in the app. So again, download the English with Tiffani app. So let's continue with our second vocabulary word. Our second vocabulary word is clandestine. Clandestine. Excellent. Again, after me. Clandestine. Excellent job. Now this just means kept secret or done secretively, especially because of being illicit or unauthorized. In English, we say clandestine. Now check out these example sentences using this vocabulary word. The very first sentence is, the intelligence agents conducted clandestine operations to gather information from the hostile territory. Again, the intelligence agents conducted clandestine operations to gather information from the hostile territory. Hostile, hostile, we say both ways. Next, their clandestine meetings continued for months before anyone discovered their relationship. And finally, the journalist exposed the government's clandestine surveillance program in a front page article. So once again, our second vocabulary word using the letter C is clandestine. Our third vocabulary word is another important word. This is a word that we as native English speakers use on a regular basis. The word is charismatic. Yes, I want you to repeat after me before I show you the words. Again, charismatic. Excellent. Yes. Last time after me again, looking at this term, charismatic. Very good. Now this term just refers to exercising a compelling charm that inspires devotion in others, having a powerful personal quality that attracts people. You're very charismatic. People are drawn to you. They love being around you. Check out this first example sentence using the term charismatic. The charismatic speaker captivated the audience with her passionate delivery and persuasive arguments. Next, his charismatic leadership style motivated team members to exceed their performance targets. And finally, the charismatic musician has built a loyal fan base that follows him to every concert. So again, in English, charismatic. Excellent. Now we move on to day 2 of our 7-day pattern, helping you master your English fluency and improving. We're going to be focusing now on expressions that start with the letter C. Our very first expression is a good one. An expression that talks about getting to the main point. In English, we say cut to the chase. Yes, again, cut to the chase. Last time after me. Cut to the chase. Excellent. Now, this just refers to getting to the point without wasting time, just like we jumped into our lesson today. Not wasting time, or to talk about the important aspects of something without discussing unnecessary details. Hey, we need to cut to the chase. Let's talk about the most important things. Cut to the chase. Here's the first example sentence. I know you have a lot of background information, but can you please cut to the chase and tell me your decision? Next, let's cut to the chase. We need to reduce expenses by 15% before the end of the quarter. And finally, the busy executive appreciated how her assistant would cut to the chase in their morning briefings. You got it? Yes, cut to the chase. Now we have our second expression, another important expression. We had cut to the chase, and now we move to come rain or shine. Again, come rain or shine. Now this is an expression that actually is connected to the words that are in it. Sometimes we have expressions that are not connected, but this one, come rain or shine, regards doing something despite the weather. Come rain or shine. Again after me. Come rain or shine. Excellent. Now, this is regardless of the weather or circumstances. No matter what happens, in any case, no matter what, I'm going to do something. Come rain or shine. So let's check out these example sentences. The first one. She walks her dog for an hour every morning. Come rain or shine. Next, the outdoor market operates come rain or shine, so vendors prepare for all weather conditions. And finally, I'll be there to support you at your competition tomorrow, come rain or shine. No matter what happens, no matter the weather, no matter the circumstances, I'll be there for you, come rain or shine. And then we have our third English expression. This is an expression that is also important. Cross that bridge when you come to it. Again, cross that bridge when you come to it. This is an expression that is very important to use when you're trying to speak about dealing with future problems. Hey, cross that bridge when you come to it. Last time after me for pronunciation practice. Cross that bridge when you come to it. Again, it refers to dealing with the problem only when it actually arises. Let's not talk about future problems. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Not dealing with the problems beforehand. Also, to avoid worrying about possible future difficulties. In English, we say, cross that bridge when you come to it. Here's the first example sentence. We don't know if the client will request changes to the design. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Next, don't worry about potential side effects of the treatment yet. Let's cross that bridge when we come to it. And finally, we're not sure if we'll need extra funding for the project's final phase. Let's cross that bridge when we come to it. So again, cross that bridge when we come to it. This leads us into our third day of the 7-day pattern. We're going to now look at idioms. Day 3, idioms focused or connected to the letter C. Our first idiom is another good expression or term you should know. This idiom is one that I use all the time. The idiom is catch 22. Catch 22. Again after me, catch 22. Excellent. Now, catch 22. This just refers to a paradoxical situation from which an individual cannot escape because of contradictory rules or limitations. In other words, a dilemma that has no good solution. If I do this, this will be bad. If I do this, this will be bad. No good solution. We say a catch 22. Here's the first example sentence. It's a catch 22. He needs experience to get the job, but he needs the job to gain experience. Here's the second example sentence. Working parents often face a catch-22 when sick leave policies don't provide enough time to care for ill children. And finally, the policy presented a catch-22 for applicants who needed a job to get a visa but couldn't get hired without having a visa first. Again, catch 22. Now, our second idiom is cold feet. Cold feet. One more time after me. Cold feet. Excellent. Now, this just refers to a feeling of fear or nervousness before doing something important, or losing courage or confidence. We say you have cold feet. Here's the first example sentence. He got cold feet just before proposing and postponed it for another week. Next, many investors got cold feet when the market became volatile and withdrew their investments. And finally, don't get cold feet now. You've prepared for this presentation for weeks and you'll do great. So again, cold feet. And our third idiom is cost an arm and a leg. Again, cost an arm and a leg. This one sounds a little bit interesting, right? Like, wait a minute. Is it going to require my arm and my leg to get something? Cost an arm and a leg. This idiom is actually just referring to something that is very expensive. It means to cost more than one can afford or more than something is worth. We say cost an arm and a leg, to be very, very expensive. Here's the first example sentence. The tuition for the private university costs an arm and a leg, but the education is worth every penny. Next, repairing the vintage car cost him an arm and a leg, but he couldn't bear to part with it. And finally, international data roaming costs an arm and a leg, so I always buy a local SIM card when traveling. So again, the idiom is cost an arm and a leg. This leads us into day number 4 of our 7-day pattern. Again, English fluency ABCs. Letter C, day 4, phrasal verbs. Our first phrasal verb using the letter C is a very good one. This is one that is used very often. In our previous example, someone wanted to propose, but they waited. This phrasal verb can be used in a situation as well. The phrasal verb is call off. Simple one, right? Again, call off. Last time, call off. Now, this phrasal verb just refers to canceling something that has been planned or to abandon a plan or an event. Like I alluded to a few moments ago, someone was going to propose to another individual, but they got cold feet, so they called it off. To abandon a plan or an event. Call off. Here's the first example sentence. They had to call off the wedding when the groom fell seriously ill the day before. Next, the search was called off after the missing hikers were found safe at a nearby cabin. And finally, the company called off the merger negotiations when they couldn't agree on key terms. In English again, we say call off. You got it. I love it. All right. Now our next phrasal verb is carry on. Again, another good one. Carry on. Someone can say, hey, you can carry on. Don't stop. Carry on. We use this phrasal verb carry on a regular basis. Again, carry on. This phrasal verb carry on just refers to continuing to do something, to persist despite difficulties, or on the opposite end, to behave in an unruly or excessive manner. 3 specific or distinct definitions for this phrasal verb. So let's check out the example sentences to see which definition is being used. Here's the first example sentence. Despite the interruption, the presenter carried on with her speech as if nothing had happened. She continued with her speech. Next, we have this sentence. Please carry on with your work while I attend this important phone call. Please continue doing what you're doing. And finally, the children were carrying on so much at the restaurant that the parents decided to leave early. The children were behaving unruly. You see the other definition, right? So again, carry on. And now we go to our third phrasal verb. Come across. Come across. Again, last time after me. Come across. Excellent. Now, this refers to finding something by chance or giving a certain impression to others or to be understood in a particular way. We have 3 definitions. First, to find something by chance, to come across something, or to give a certain impression. He comes across as a nice guy, or to be understood in a particular way. So let's check out these example sentences using this phrasal verb. While cleaning the attic, I came across my grandfather's collection of rare coins. I found them by chance. Next, she comes across as confident in interviews, which has helped her secure several job offers. She gives an impression that she is very confident. And finally, his explanation didn't come across clearly, leaving many in the audience confused. In other words, they weren't able to understand what he was saying. So again, our final one for phrasal verbs, come across. Excellent. That leads us into day 5 of our 7-day pattern. And day 5 is all about sentence patterns. So day 5, we're going to look at a sentence pattern for the letter C. Now remember, I'm teaching you this 7-day pattern. And if you want to continue studying with me, if you want to continue learning with me, following a daily plan, this is being brought to you by my course, the 365-day English study plan, where you'll get a lesson each and every day for an entire year. If you want to follow the plan, go to speakenglishwithtiffani.com/365plan. speakenglishwithtiffani.com/365plan, and the link is in the description. So now we're going to look at the sentence pattern for letter C. The sentence pattern for letter C. Now this sentence pattern, remember, starts with the letter C and then adds other elements. These sentence patterns that we've been going over throughout this series will help you speak English more fluently. The sentence pattern we're looking at is contrary to, then we have a belief or an explanation, and finally a statement of fact. Again, contrary to, listing a specific belief, and then adding a specific statement of fact. So here's the definition of this sentence pattern. This is a sentence pattern that introduces a contrast between what is commonly believed or expected and what is actually true. Again, the contrast between what is commonly believed versus what is actually true. So let's check out some example sentences that follow this pattern. Here's the first example sentence. Contrary to popular belief, lightning can strike the same place multiple times. Contrary to the belief that it can't, the fact is lightning can strike the same place multiple times. Here's another example. Contrary to our expectations, the small startup outperformed the industry giants in the first quarter. People believed that it wouldn't outperform, but it actually did. So again, contrary to what the belief was, and then stating the fact. And finally, we have contrary to what the forecast predicted, we enjoyed perfect weather for the entire outdoor festival. I can resonate with this one a lot because I'm from Maryland, and in Maryland over the past several weeks, the forecast has not matched with the actual weather. So contrary to what the forecast predicted, we enjoyed perfect weather for many days. You got it, right? Excellent. This leads us now into day 6 of our 7-day pattern. Again, helping you improve your English fluency. Day 6 is all about understanding, studying, and learning more about American culture. And we're focusing on the letter C. Again, American culture. The letter C, we have county fairs. County fairs. Now, what is so important about county fairs? So county fairs, this is an annual event held in rural communities across America that celebrates agricultural heritage, featuring livestock competitions, farm produce displays, carnival rides, games, and local food specialties. This is something that's very common in America, specifically in the rural communities. Why is this important for you to understand as an English learner? Let me give you some important points. County fairs. County fairs often include competitions for the best homemade pies, jams, and preserves, continuing traditions that date back to America's agrarian past. Now, think about this. If this is so important to American culture, don't you think it's something that will come up in many different conversations? Don't you think it's something that native English speakers will discuss on a regular basis? So you want to make sure you understand it so that when it comes up in conversation, you can add to the conversation. We're talking about improving your English fluency. The second important point, for many rural youth, raising animals to show at the county fairs through 4-H or Future Farmers of America represents their introduction into agricultural responsibility and business. Again, understanding why this is such an important part of American culture. Young people living in these areas, this is their first foray or interest into business. And finally, the county fair midway, with its rides, games, and indulgent fair foods like funnel cakes and corn dogs, embodies a quintessential American summer experience for many families. Going to county fairs, getting this funnel cake. When I saw funnel cake, I was like, man, I remember eating tons of funnel cakes as a kid. I don't eat them as much now. Why? Because, I have to watch my figure. They're delicious to the taste though, right? So understanding American culture helps you understand the way we as Americans think and the things that we discuss in conversation. So American culture, day number 6, which leads us now into day number 7 of our 7-day pattern. Day number 7 is all about reviewing the first 6 days. You learned a lot about the letter C and the words, expressions, idioms, phrasal verbs. Now it's time for us to read a story that includes what you learned to see if you can remember what we talked about. Our story is called A Language Adventure, and I want you to listen for the terms. Maria had always dreamed of becoming fluent in English. On a crisp autumn morning, she embarked on what would become a truly comprehensive language journey. Maria enrolled in an intensive English program at a prestigious international academy. During orientation, the director said, "Let me cut to the chase. Learning a language requires dedication. You'll need to practice come rain or shine." Her teacher, Mr. Johnson, was a charismatic instructor whose lessons captivated the entire class. He introduced unique methods that helped students remember difficult vocabulary. "Don't worry about making mistakes," he often said. "We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Focus on communicating first. Perfection will follow." I like Mr. Johnson, y'all. Maria faced a catch-22 situation in her studies. To improve her speaking, she needed to practice with native speakers, but she got cold feet whenever opportunities arose because she wasn't confident in her speaking abilities. One day, while studying in the library, Maria came across a flyer for a language exchange program. Though private lessons cost an arm and a leg, this program was free. She decided to join despite her nervousness. There were rumors of clandestine study groups that shared exam questions, but Maria refused to participate. "I want to learn properly," she told her roommate. When the midterm exams approached, many students panicked and wanted to call off their weekend plans to study. Maria, however, advised them to take breaks too. "You need to carry on with normal life while studying, or you'll burn out," she explained. Contrary to popular belief, Maria found that watching American shows about county fairs improved her understanding of cultural idioms more than textbooks ever could. The scenes of families enjoying carnival rides, livestock competitions, and funnel cakes provided context for expressions she'd only read about. By the end of the semester, Maria's progress surprised even her strictest professors. Her persistence had paid off, proving that language learning isn't just about vocabulary and grammar. It's about embracing the culture and maintaining determination through challenges. This story included so many of the terms you learned today, and I'm sure you understood. I'll talk to you in the next lesson.